Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doan, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doan.edu/apply.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations.
Welcome to the 2025 NSAA State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State baseball broadcasts are powered by Game Day Men's Health, Max Tan, Doan University, Raising Canes, and the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert.
Welcome into Warner Park on a Monday morning as we continue our Class A state baseball tournament coverage. We have transported and shifted from Tal Anderson Field, which is a turf surface, to a Warner Park and a natural baseball field with dirt and grass. And that's notable on a Monday morning where there's weather in the forecast, and we've actually changed schedules here. So initially we were expected to have a 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. game. However, here with the possible weather, it looks like towards the afternoon and evening parts of our Monday, we've shifted to a rolling schedule. And so instead of longer breaks in between each game, we're going to only have a 30-minute breather in between the conclusion of one game and the beginning of another. But once again, Nick Sainert joining you from Warner Park. Thanks to my man Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios in Lincoln. We'll keep you updated on the schedule for as much as we can throughout the rest of the day. Got a good one on tap in our first elimination game of the tournament, and it's going to be between the 5th-seeded Millard West Wildcats and the 8th seed in the Class A bracket, the Papillion La-Vista Monarchs. Both of these teams obviously losers in game number 1 last Friday. They've had 2+ days off. Millard South was able to beat Millard West by a score of 2-1 on kind of a obscure walk-off sacrifice fly. Millard West Wildcats had an incredible outing from the future University of Iowa pitcher Brady Ferguson. He had 11 strikeouts in over 6 innings of work, and that was not enough because a 2-run sacrifice fly where a guy in right center field, the right fielder for the Millard West Wildcats, dropped the ball on the transfer, which not only allowed the runner from third to score, but it also allowed the runner from second to come around and score. And that was how Millard South ended up advancing to the winner's bracket, and Millard West is here in the elimination game. For Papillion La-Vista, they fell 6-0 to Lincoln East. That was our first game of the day on Friday morning. Lincoln East just consistently and continued to just add. And it just kind of, you looked up at the scoreboard after you blinked and you saw it was the 6th inning and Lincoln East was up 6-0. It was just a pretty routine number 1 seed win over a lower seeded, in this case, the 8th seed Papillion La-Vista Monarchs. So now that's how we got here, where Millard West and Papillion La-Vista are playing in an elimination game. Millard West, the defending state champions, but they graduated a lot of guys last year. 2 guys most notably on that left side of the infield, and Nick Van Tyker, who is the third baseman, who is a freshman at Creighton, has gotten some significant playing time for a team that's going to probably make a regional, the Creighton Blue Jays. And then at shortstop, They actually had a guy that is now in a professional baseball organization. He was initially supposed to go to the University of Arkansas, got drafted in the early rounds by the Cincinnati Reds organization, and that guy is Tyson Lewis. But Millard West has reloaded, and they are ready to go here as they are still led by head coach Steve Fry. And Coach Fry loves this left-handed pitcher that's going to be on the mound for them today in Colton Williams. Williams, a 5-1 record on the year, just a sophomore, throws from a funky slot. It's not necessarily 3/4, but it's also not sidearm. It's kind of somewhere in the middle there as he throws from the left side. Not the tallest guy out there, but just a sophomore, and he's got a bright future ahead, according to head coach Steve Fry for the Millard West Wildcats. Colton Williams, once again, 5-1 record on the year with a 1.73 earned run average. It's going to be a similar lineup that we saw against Papillion La-Vista, or for Papillion La-Vista, that we saw them when they took the field against Lincoln East on Friday. The same first three hitters, Isaac Pomeron, Ryan Thompson, and Easton Schneider. Obviously, Schneider's a guy we talked about going to a junior college down in Phoenix, Arizona, South Mountain Community College, a program that has had 66 draft picks out of that JUCO since the year 2000. They've also sent about 260 guys to Division I programs, so a really strong junior college program that the three-hole hitter in that Papio lineup is going to be attending. Easton Schneider, he's getting the start at second base today. We'll tell you a little bit more about this, but first let's pause 10 seconds for station identification, and when we come back, it'll be first pitch for Millard West and the Papillion La-Vista Monarchs here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sainer back with you from Warner Park. Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Austin Norman will join me later this afternoon for some games. It's going to be a good slate of games. First one is going to be this one between Millard West and Papio. Papio South and Kearney is in game 2 as we round out elimination game content here, and then winners bracket matchups. And that one at 4 p.m. between the Lincoln East Spartans and the Millard South Patriots is sure to be a doozy here as we are ready to go. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup to start here at Warner Park, as once again at first pitch, 59 degrees. The wind blowing towards left field here at the home of the Omaha Storm Chasers. The first pitch from Colton Williams. The lefty is just a tad outside, 1-0. Stepping in, it's Isaac Pomeron. Pomeron, the left-handed hitter, had one hit in the game against the Spartans on Friday as he takes strike one over the heart of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The dimensions here at Warner, 315 down each line, 402 to dead center field with that green batter's eye behind that center field wall. This one popped up left side, and that's one thing that I will say as a Millard West Wildcat, the left fielder dives into the dugout on the far side trying to go for that ball. One thing we saw last year in an injury, it was a pretty scary sight in one of the state championship games where the right fielder actually dove into the stands because unfamiliar with the territory, unfamiliar with the dimensions, and even these guys who played at Tal Anderson Field at the home of the Omaha Mavericks on Friday, there's a lot more foul territory, especially before you get out to the deeper parts of the outfield. And so that's something to certainly watch for as guys try to get some foul balls and keep them in play. But on the 1-2 pitch, it's going to be a backdoor curveball that hits Pomeron, and it's going to be strike 3, a backwards K to start for Colton Williams, the lefty pitcher, as he gets Pomeron down looking. So 1 out here in the top half of the first inning, just underway in the elimination game. Nick Sainer with you on 93.7 The Ticket. So stepping in, number 2 hitter, it's the left fielder today for Papio. It's going to be number 7, Ryan Thompson. Thompson hitting .311 on the year, watches a fastball on the outer part of the plate, 0-1. So as I mentioned, Thompson, .311 hitter, 32 at-bats and over 100 ABs on the campaign. The lefty pitcher to the righty hitter. This one, low and inside, ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. We had mentioned that the weather is certainly something to watch for. It looks like we're going to get through the first couple of games of the day. It's very cloudy skies, which I'm sure it's pretty similar in Lincoln, but it's very cloudy skies here. The lights at Warner are turned on as it's ball 2, low and away, 2-1. The 2-1 offering on the way, swung on and missed. It was foul tipped into the mitt of the catcher behind the dish, and Ryan Thompson has now evened up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Papio catcher. Colton Williams, the lefty, just a sophomore. We have 2 guys on the mound that are underclassmen. one for each side as Williams fires home the 2-2. This one hit well out to the right field. The right fielder ranges back, first step back, then charges in and makes the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Millard West Wildcats pitcher, Colton Williams. And now stepping into the box, the second baseman, right-handed hitter, number 1, Easton Schneider. Schneider, the senior, hitting .359 on the campaign, has driven in 24 runs on the season. Crowd continues to file in here at Warner Park. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Still scoreless here as Schneider takes ball 1 low out of the zone, 1-0. Just past the 10 o'clock hour. The 1-0 pitch to Schneider. Hit, blooped, right side. The first baseman ranges over and is able to corral it for out number 3, just past the infield into the outfield grass. So Millard West goes 3 up, 3 down against the Papillion Monarchs. Colton Williams works a spotless frame, and we will get to see the Millard West offense when we come back in just 30 seconds. It's Sam Kidd, Dylan Swiersick, and Chance Roberts due up for Millard West in the bottom half of the first inning. We're still scoreless here at Warner Park on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So Papillion La-Vista goes 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the first inning. That means we will get to see Landon Albrecht of the Monarchs on the mound here in the home half of the first, facing off against a talented Millard West lineup. Landon Albrecht on the year 6-0 record, unblemished, with a 1.57 earned run average, throws from the right side, and he will face a Millard West lineup that has a couple of returners, but a couple of new faces here to the stage of the state tournament. And one of the guys that's making the return after winning the state championship last year is going to be the catcher, number 4, Sam Kidd. Kidd on the year, .305 average, 25 hits and just a little over 80 at-bats. Has 20 runs driven in on the season as well, hitting out of the leadoff spot. Hitting second, it'll be the third baseman, number 12, Dylan Swiersick. Swiersick, a senior infielder that hits .231. This Millard West lineup, after not necessarily, or I should say, after being able to hit for power last year, I mentioned a couple of those guys, most notably Nick Van Tyker and Tyson Lewis that graduated. After being able to hit for power last year, they score their runs a much different way this year in 2025. You had to manufacture a lot of them just because they don't have necessarily the power that they did last season. Only 2 guys have registered a long ball this year for this Wildcats program, and that is Tyson Meyer and Jackson Teal. Teal isn't even the starting lineup today. The first pitch at the bottom of the first is in there for a strike. 0-1 to Sam Kidd, the Millard West catcher. Tyson Meyer, the only other guy that's hit a home run this year for Millard West, is hitting in the 5 spot today for the Wildcats. Is this 0-1 fastball going to be fouled off to the right side, and quickly Landon Albrecht, the Papillion pitcher, is on top of the leadoff hitter Sam Kidd, 0-2. Working out of the windup, here's the 0-2 offering. Swung on, grounder, second base side. Schneider picks it up on the backhand, fires it over to first, and in time to retire Sam Kidd, and that is 1 up, 1 down on the 4-3 ground out. And now Dylan Swiersick, the starting third baseman for Millard West, will step up to the plate. He gets some advice and notes from Sam Kidd, who's been the only Millard West player to see Landon Albrecht on the mound so far. And the first pitch of the at-bat to Swiersick is just a tad outside, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Still scoreless here between Millard West, and Papillion. And it's going to be 2 balls, no strikes coming up as Albrecht working out of the windup. Papillion La-Vista in their maroon uniforms with the gold letters and the gold logo on the helmet. Millard West in their all whites with the word West painted across their chest in green. 2-1 offering from Albrecht here to Swiersek. It's just going to be outside 3-1, and a hitter's count approaching for the 2-hole in this Millard West lineup today. It's a righty-righty matchup here at Warner Park. The 3-1 pitch on the way, swung on drive, driven out right side, and the right fielder's going to have to let it drop. It bounces off his leg. Swiersek takes an aggressive turn around first, but it will retreat back to the first base bag, and it's a one-out single for Dylan Swiersek out to right field as he took that 3-1 fastball right back where it came from and was able to drive it out to the right side. So one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Chance Roberts will step in for Millard West. The left-handed hitter has a man at first. Landon Albrecht working out of the stretch for the first time here in the ballgame. Albrecht fires home, swung on and missed, 0-1. He brought that fastball up and in on Chance Roberts, and he kind of bailed out of the way of it, but also half-heartedly swung. And so no balls, 1 strike coming up to Chance Roberts. Swiersek occupies first base for Millard West in their home half of the first inning. Papillion in the field on defense right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one flied back to the seats in foul territory. It's no balls, 2 strikes quickly. Albrecht so far, despite to Swiersek really, been competitive with all of his pitches. He got a little bit behind Swiersek in the 2-hole, but for Sam Kidd, who was the leadoff hitter, and now to Chance Roberts, been able to get him in an 0-2 situation. Roberts facing 0-2. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. Roberts jumped out of the way. The umpire rung him up, and that's the second time that we've seen this home plate umpire be a little more friendly with that inside part of the plate, and he rings him up on 3 pitches. Landon Albrecht is able to respond after the 1-out single with a backwards K, and now the cleanup hitter for Millard West, Jake Daniel, steps into the plate. Jake Daniel, number 5, getting the start at second base, has a runner at first base, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. First pitch of the at-bat is low and away, ball 1. Jake Daniel on the year at junior, hitting .254, has 11 runs driven in. Dylan Swiersek is at first base for Millard West. Here's the 1-0 offering from Albrecht. The runner goes. This one swung on, driven right to the shortstop. He'll have to fire it all the way across the diamond since the runner did go, but no problem there for the Papillion shortstop, Isaac Pomeron, as he fired it across the diamond for out number 3. It's 6-3 on the ground out, and we go to the top of the second inning. Due up in the top of the second, it's 4, 5, and 6 in that Papillion order. Luke Bennett, Evan Eady, and Landon Albrecht all due up for the Monarchs in the visiting half of the second. When we come back in 30 seconds here in the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Before we get started with the second inning, jumpstart your summer to the max. Walk into any Max Tan in Lincoln and get a $5 standing tan session or a $5 red light wellness booth session. Your summer tan starts today with $5 sessions at Max Tan with 3 Lincoln locations. Okay, so a spotless on the scoreboard first inning for both sides. We're still scoreless in the top of the second inning, as it will be hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up in the top of the second for Papillion La-Vista. It'll be first up Luke Bennett, the starting right fielder, number 16 for Papillion. On the year, Bennett, the sophomore, hitting just .232. He'll step into the right-handed batter's box to face the left arm of Colton Williams. Millard West had a one-out single in the bottom of the first inning, unable to get anything going after that, though. The first pitch of the second inning here to Bennett. Going to be driven out right side. It's shallow right field. The second baseman ranges over, and he'll call off his right fielder despite being an unconventional, and that's a fly out to the second baseman for out number one. So now it brings up the first baseman, Evan Eady. Eady on the season, a senior, hits .263 at the plate. He had a hit against Lincoln East on Friday. The lefty-lefty matchup here with one out in the top of the second. Curveball will stay outside, 0-0. One thing that Colton Williams doesn't necessarily do is he's not going to blow you away with his velocity. Just a sophomore, he'll sit low to mid-80s. However, as this one's fouled off left side real late on that one, as I said it, Edie was. But Colton Williams on the mound, he'll be able to command three pitches. Works a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Breaking ball stays inside, but it's going to be just kind of fisted off to the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes coming up to Evan Eady, the 5-hole hitter in the Papillion lineup. So he'll sit 82 to 84 on the gun, especially with that fastball, and then the other pitch is just a tad slower. The 1-2 offering stays up and out of the zone, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the second. Here's the 2-2 offering. Outside part, no, just missed it. The catcher, Sam Kidd for Millard West, jumped up like he thought that they had rung him up. But that umpire behind the dish said nope, and it's going to stay outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Evan Eady. The payoff pitch from Colton Williams on the way stays even farther outside, and that's a 1-out walk now from Colton Williams to Evan Eady. A nice job, Eady, working the count full. After he was down in the count 1-2, he watched 3 straight pitches and now occupies first base after a base on balls. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Papio, the 8 seed in Class A, while Millard West is the 5. Millard West fell to the 4-seeded Millard South Patriots on Friday. Papillion lost to the top seed Lincoln East Spartans. On the first pitch of the at-bat to Landon Albrecht, the pitcher, it's a strike on the outer part of the plate, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top half of the second. Williams, the lefty, comes set, and he'll gingerly pick over to first base. We might see some one-way leads from the guys at first base for Papillion La-Vista, where on that leg kick, they start to lean back towards first base bag just to be careful. As this one on the second pitch, the at-bat's going to be muscled out to the right side. It will stay in play, but losing the baseball was the first baseman, that is Chance Roberts for Millard West, unable to grab that fly ball, and it falls down to the grass for just a foul ball. And it will be no balls, 2 strikes coming up to Landon Albrecht, and that is what they call another life. Still alive, Landon Albrecht. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the top of the second inning. The runner at first is Evan Eady. He had a 1-out walk just a moment ago. Papillion La-Vista still searching for their first hit of the morning. Williams comes set at the belt. Lifts the leg and fires on the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that worked backdoor on the outer part of the zone, and it will be strike 3 on Landon Albrecht as he watches strike 3 go by. And now with 2 outs and a runner on first base, Colton Peters, the designated hitter for Papillion La-Vista, number 24, steps up to the plate. Peters on the year hitting .319, 15 hits in 47 at-bats. The 2-out first pitch of the at-bat is going to be in there for a strike, 0-1. We've seen both pitchers, after allowing a runner on base with 1 out, bounce back and settle back in really well here. We're seeing it from Colton Williams as he got a strikeout and now starts the next at-bat with a strike. The 0-1 pitch is going to be low and in for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top half of the second inning. Still scoreless between Millard West and Papillion La-Vista. 1 ball, 1 strike, runner on first. Pitch in the zone. It goes through the legs of Sam Kidd. He lost the baseball, and it went through the basket, is what I was going to say, as the runner goes to second base. And it will be a runner in scoring position now, the first time for either side, and a 2-1 count to the Papillion designated hitter. That ball goes right through the legs of Sam Kidd behind the plate. He lost the baseball for a second, and now the runner moves up 90 feet to second base. The 2-1 pitch from Williams is swung on and missed by Colton Peters. It's even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It feels like this game is being played at 7:30 p.m. right now with the lights on and no sun in the sky. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Williams. Just a tad outside. It'll be full, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here to the Papillion La-Vista DH, 7th hitter in the lineup, Colton Peters. Colton Williams on the mound, throws the payoff pitch, and this one's fouled back to the netting. We'll do it again, 3-2. It'll be interesting to see if we get into a rain delay or weather delay territory, as I'll continue this point in just a minute. Colton Williams comes set, 3-2 pitch on the way, fouled back again. We'll have a deja vu moment and do it again at 3-2. As I was going to say, though, is the other surfaces that the state tournaments played at, Tal Anderson Field and Papillion La-Vista South High School, as well as Fricky Field, all turf settings. And so they can handle the moisture much better than the natural surface of Warner here. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball hit well out to left field. The left fielder races back, and he's going to have it in time. He got turned around. The left fielder for Millard West, Hunter Young, started going to his left and then had to reverse course and go back to his right, made the catch for out number 3. It was hit well by Colton Peters, but it still is out number 3. We go to the bottom half of the second inning, still scoreless here in Warner Park. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Whether you're listening to us on the FM dial, the mobile app, the YouTube live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Channel 961, or on our website. Appreciate you spending your Monday morning with us here at Warner Park. Still scoreless here in the first game of the day. It's an elimination game. Somebody's season will come to a close here later today. It'll be either Papillion La-Vista or Millard West going home. The winner, though, will end up playing the loser of this afternoon's game between Millard North and Elkhorn South. As the first pitch at the bottom of the second skied high into the infield, it will be playable for the first baseman, and ranging over was that first baseman, Evan Eady, making the catch for out number 1. And so Tyson Meyer, one of the better hitters in this Millard West lineup, is retired on 1 pitch. So now that brings up the designated hitter in the Millard West lineup, Cade Scommel. Scommel, number 33. He on the year, a freshman, hitting .310 at the plate, 13 hits and 42 at-bats. Crouches down. Here's the first pitch. This one softly tapped left side, but foul. And it will be no balls, 1 strike coming up to the Wildcats DH. It's a busy couple of weeks in Omaha. Obviously, the Big Ten tournament will take over, the state baseball tournament going on, the College World Series in the middle of June as well, and the Kansas City Royals top prospect Jack Caglione was just called up to the AAA ball club yesterday. Storm Chasers on the road, though, for right now. They go to Salt Lake City this week, and that's where he'll make his AAA debut before next week coming back to Warner Park, and that's where the locals will be able to see a guy that was in the College World Series last year reside until what it feels like the inevitable will happen, and he gets called up to the Kansas City Royals big league club. And obviously the ticket, you're home for Kansas City Royals baseball. Skomel flies out to the right fielder, though, while I was on my soapbox there, and it will be a fly out there, quickly bunting, and we'll have a foul ball called. No, they're going to say he's out. It hit him out of the box. So just to kind of give you an idea there, Hunter Young, the left fielder for Millard West, we'll go ahead and keep it here so I can explain this. It's the end of the inning, so we go to the top of the third. Hunter Young, though, attempted a 2-out bunt, and it kind of looked awkward. It hit him outside of the batter's box. We saw this on Friday to where a guy gets called out because it hit him out of the batter's box. That's exactly what happened here with Hunter Young. And so the home plate umpire called him out. That is out number 3, and we go to the top of the third inning. Here in the top of the third inning, it's going to be Jackson Povich, Dylan Wernley, and then we'll turn over the Papillion La-Vista lineup and go to Isaac Pomeron. Jackson Povich, the younger brother of current Baltimore Orioles starting pitcher and former Husker Cade Povich. He is starting at third base today, though. Cade Povich and Jackson, they both went to Bellevue West High School initially. Cade finished his high school career in Bellevue with the Thunderbirds. Jackson, though, made the transition to Papillion La-Vista High School. So we are breezing right along through this first game, which if you're an NSAA official, you're probably happy about, just because of the possibility of severe weather coming up in the next couple of hours. It's always a good time. Remind you, we do have access to the text line, so we appreciate how interactive you guys usually are during the day. 402-464-5685. Feel free to let me know where you're listening from on your Monday. As the ball has been thrown down to the second baseman, and we are ready to start action here in the top of the third. Nick Stainer with you from Warner Park. Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios, along with Jake Bachhoven and the rest of the crew at 1040 O Street in Lincoln. Austin Orman will join me on the call for a couple of the games later on today after he makes his trek up here about 35 minutes northeast of Lincoln. So we're ready to go. Standing in for his first at-bat of the day, Jackson Povich, the third baseman for Papio. He watches ball one just outside 1-0. Here in the top of the third inning, still 0-0. Just one hit has been registered, and it came from Dylan Swiersek back in the bottom of the first inning off for Millard West. And it's now 1-1 strike after Colton Williams able to even it up. 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Williams. Low and in, ball 2. 2 strike, nobody out here in the top of the third inning. No score either here at Warner Park, as this one hit fouled off right side, and the first baseman Chance Roberts will not get there in time. And so that will be making it an even count, 2 strikes. Another thing I'll mention here, just because it's applicable here at a minor league ballpark, is because of the Major League Baseball rules, they had to extend the netting all the way down to the foul line. And so I mentioned earlier on here on the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for out number 1. I mentioned earlier that last year we had a gentleman fall into the stands going for a foul ball. Hopefully some of that risk is alleviated. Also for the fans, it's nice because you don't have to worry about a rocket coming your way off the bat of one of these players. So 1 out after a leadoff strikeout from Colton Williams to Jackson Povich. That brings up the left fielder, Dylan Wernley. Wernley watches strike 1 on the outer part, and it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Lefty-lefty matchup here to the 9-hole hitter, Dylan Wernley. The breaking ball fouled off, and it will get out of play. No balls, 2 strikes quickly on the left fielder for Papillion La-Vista. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the third inning. Papio and Millard West still scoreless here. The left-handed hitter gets ready. Here comes Williams. Breaking ball stays up and out of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's probably one of those, if you're Colton Williams, you'd rather see that breaking ball down in the dirt rather than stay afloat. However, didn't hurt him here. 1-2 strike. This pitch swung on, fouled off left side, and we'll do it again at 1-2. On the year, Papillion La-Vista snuck into the state tournament after defeating Millard South in the district final 8-4. Millard West lost in their district final to Elkhorn South 5-1. Here's the 1-2 pitch, low and out of the zone, 2-2. I said it earlier, Colton Williams throws from somewhere in between that 3/4 slot and the sidearm. It's not a full sidearm, but this breaking ball fanned on and missed. And Dylan Wernley goes down on strikes. The knees somewhat buckled there for Wernley, and now we'll turn the lineup over and look to the Papillion La-Vista shortstop, Isaac Pomeron. Pomeron, he struck out looking to start the game, and he steps into that left-handed batter's box. That breaking ball obviously coming from the left side for Colton Williams. Looks like it's coming right at you before it breaks across the plate. This one goes outside, ball 1 to Isaac Pomeron. Pomeron with the 1-0 advantage. Now it's even, 1-1 strike after watching a fastball over the heart of the plate. Colton Williams right up on that rubber, ready to go once again. He's in a rhythm here. 1-1 strike, 2 outs, top of the third inning, still scoreless. This pitch fouled off left side, and we'll do it again. 1-2 strikes here. Colton Williams, it's always noticeable and it's interesting to talk about with guys, especially at the high school level, where they set up on the rubber. Colton Williams is as far to the left side, the right-handed batter's box side, as you could be. Pitching out of the windup, he throws the 1-2 offering, low and away, ball 2. Scoreboard's full of 2s. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Colton Williams, and it stays outside, ball 3. We've worked it full. Isaac Pomeron, the Papillion La-Vista leadoff hitter, with Ryan Thompson, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the payoff pitch, 2 outs. Swung on, fouled left side. That one's going to get out of play. And it looks like right now Papillion La-Vista is sitting so hard on that breaking ball or changeup, some off speed that Colton Williams has thrown their way and been able to register 4 strikeouts on the day with, that they're late on the fastball. Here's the 3-2 pitch, fastball, and it's fouled off again. He tried to come inside on him, and it was chopped off left side. We got a couple new balls into play. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Pomeron has seen 2 fastballs in a row here. We'll see if Colton Williams on the mound for Millard West goes off speed. The 3-2 pitch, breaking ball, stays outside, and it was low in the dirt for ball 4. And so a 2-out walk for Papillion La-Vista as Pomeron draws it, and now he'll take over first base for Ryan Thompson, who comes up to the plate, the catcher. He flew out to the right fielder back in the first inning of play. That is the second walk of the day as well for the Millard West Wildcats pitcher, Colton Williams. On the year, Colton Williams with that 5-1 record and ERA under 2 with 1.73 specifically. Runner on first is Isaac Pomeron. The guy in the box, Ryan Thompson. The man on the mound, Colton Williams. First pitch swung on and fouled off towards the Papio dugout on that first base foul line, and it's going to be a no balls and 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike as Colton Williams pitches out of the stretch. He'll pick over gingerly to the first base bag. And we'll reset, do it again at no balls, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the top half of the third. Ryan Thompson, the righty, the runner goes on 0-1. This one a soft chopper. It's bobbled by the pitcher. Williams still has plenty of time, throws over to first in time for out number 3. Good job there by Colton Williams, staying composed after he bobbled it right in front of the pitcher's mound and had plenty of time to get the Papio catcher out at first base. It's 1-3 on the putout, and it's 0-0 still as we enter the bottom of the third inning here at Warner Park on 93.7 The Ticket. When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Warner Park here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Landon Albrecht takes the mound for his 3rd inning of work for Papillion La-Vista. Still scoreless, 0-0 is your score. Due up here in the home half of the 3rd inning, it'll be Jake Blackman, Jared Betts, and then the top of the order with Sam Kidd. So Jake Blackman getting the start in center field today for Millard West. The Wildcats on the year 21-12, 21-13 now if you count Friday morning's losses. Blackman takes strike 1 on the inner part of the plate that clipped the zone 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out, bottom of the 3rd. The second pitch of the at-bat is in there, same spot, same result. No balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Albrecht fires up and in for a ball, 1-2. Trying to establish that fastball here early on to Jake Blackman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it is just outside. The catcher behind the dish, Thompson, thought that he had been able to show that that was strike 3. Goes for naught, and it's 2-2. The quick pitch once again, inside part, no good. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And if you're Landon Albrecht, maybe after you tried to quick pitch and get going quickly, maybe just take a breath here. Pitching out of the windup. The payoff pitch on 3-2. It's in there, strike 3. Jake Blackman doesn't take the bat off his shoulders through all 6 pitches that he sees, and it's a 3-2 strikeout on the inner part of the plate for Landon Albrecht. That's out number 1 here in the home half of the 3rd inning, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Jared Betts, number 9, getting the start in right field, hitting in the 9 spot. He watches ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch and hits the outside part, clipped it, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Albrecht. This one swung on, fouled right side, and I think it's going to hit the dugout. It will, and it will be 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coming up to Jared Betts. Jared Betts, the right fielder, righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch from Albrecht. Outside part, strike 3 again, as Millard West has now watched 2 fastballs clip the outside part of the zone, and they've been rung up on strike 3. It was first Blackman, now Betts with it, and that's a second backwards K of the inning for Landon Albrecht on the mound. He now has 3 strikeouts on the day. Stepping into the box, it's Sam Kidd, the Millard West catcher, as guess what? Some more of the same as he watches strike 1 over Broadway. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd of a scoreless ball game. Kidd lines this one right side over the second baseman Schneider and into right field for a 2-out base knock. Nice job by Sam Kidd there, able to take a fastball on the outer part of the zone, right to the right side of the field over the second baseman Schneider and into right field down for a hit. And so now we'll have a courtesy runner for Millard West as Landon Horst will be the courtesy man. Horst has scored 15 runs on the season. He now occupies first base after Sam Kidd gets courtesy ran for. No balls, no strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Runner on first, Landon Horst stepping into the box. It's Dylan Swiersick, who is 1 for 1 with a single back in the bottom of the 1st. Here's the pitch from Albrecht. This one, first pitch, the at-bat, flied high, shallow right field. The right fielder races over, and he's able to make the catch for out number 3. And so the 2-out single goes for naught. A good job by Landon Albrecht as they continue to work a clean, scoreless frame. We are still at the Goose Egg, 0-0 as we enter the 4th inning of play from Warner Park here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So Millard West has now registered 2 hits in 3 innings. However, if you are the Wildcats, haven't been able to crack the scoreboard. But for Papillion La-Vista, not much better, if at all better, where you have yet to record a single hit. You've had 2 base runners on the day, and they've both been via the base on balls. But for in the hit column, you have not been able to get a whole lot going. Colton Williams back out there for Millard West in his 4th inning of work. The lefty has had a nice day so far. 4 strikeouts. 2 of them have been backwards K, 2 of them swinging strikeouts. Due up here for Papillion La-Vista in the top half of the 4th inning, it's going to be Easton Schneider. Schneider, the second baseman, flew out to the first baseman in his first at-bat. Schneider will be attending South Mountain Community College in Phoenix, Arizona next season. This year, Schneider hitting .359, 37 hits in 100 at-bats. Here's the first pitch of the day in the 4th inning for Millard West as Williams, his pitch goes up and away for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes here in the top of the 4th. The pitch to Schneider, fouled back, straight behind home plate, 1-1. One ball, one strike here in the top of the 4th, while Papillion La-Vista still searches for their first hit. Nobody out, top of the 4th. Scoreless ball game between Millard West and Papio. Schneider takes ball 2 outside, 2-1. The lefty pitcher, righty hitter. And it stays outside again, 3 balls, 1 strike. And if you're Easton Schneider here, watch for a fastball. If you're Colton Williams, can't leave something over the heart of the plate, maybe you put Schneider on. The 3-1 pitch to Easton Schneider. Outside, ball 4. And it's a lead-off walk in the top of the 4th inning for Papillion La-Vista. Papio, the 8th seed, upset Millard South in the district final. These 2 teams have played before this year. Millard West beat Papillion La-Vista 5-4 in their first matchup. Papio shows bunt with the runner on first. They get it down, but it's going to be foul. And so we will do it again at no balls, 1 strike. And if you are Papillion La-Vista here, you're bunting Luke Bennett, who is your cleanup hitter, which is fine. However, if you're Luke Bennett here, that bat was angled to send it down the third base line. In this situation, take it down that first base side, unless you're trying to bump for a hit, I suppose, but still force that first baseman who's holding on Schneider at first to come off the bag. Here's the bunt attempt as it's going to be right back to the pitcher, fielded by the third baseman, and it's thrown over to first in time for out number 1. So the sacrifice, although not pretty, Luke Bennett does his job on the sacrifice for out number 1. It's 5-3 on the putout, And moving up to second base into scoring position on the sacrifice is that runner from first, Easton Schneider. It was also good communication there between the third baseman for Millard West, Dylan Swiersick, and the pitcher, Colton Williams. He communicated with Williams to go cover third base as Swiersick fielded that bunt, because if that third base bag is vacated, Schneider could have taken it another 90 feet. One out, top of the fourth. This one swung on, chopper, slowly left side. The runner at second base, Schneider, is now caught in a rundown as he didn't know if he wanted to go back to second or third. They're still having him in the rundown. And now the guy at first base, the hitter in this case, Evan Eady, was almost tagged out on a rundown. It could have been a double play, but instead it's a fielder's choice. Out as he was caught in no man's land was Easton Schneider. And now it feels like that momentum that Papillion La-Vista had built up is now dead as Evan Eady reaches on a fielder's choice. And Easton Schneider is out on the rundown for out number 2. So kind of a discombobulated play there. Easton Schneider was getting ready to retreat back to the bag, which would have been the right call because that ball was in front of him to his right. Here, the first pitch, the at-bat to Albrecht is skied high into shallow right center field. The right fielder races over and is able to make the catch for out number 3. So when it looked like Papio had finally been able to get some momentum going in this scoreless ball game, they run into a rundown between second and third base. They get tagged out on the fielder's choice, and then they fly out now to end the inning on an F9 for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning for Millard West. It's the heart of their order. 3-4-5 due up for the Wildcats here when we come back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time, which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus. Garage doors and more.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Bottom of the fourth inning we go. Here, Millard West will send up Chance Roberts, Jake Daniel, and Tyson Meyer to the plate. They were a combined 0 for 3 with a strikeout, ground out, and fly out in their first at-bats. Chance Roberts, who struck out looking back in the first inning, steps into that left-handed batter's box to face the righty Landon Albrecht. The first pitch is just a tad outside, 1-0. Nick Sainert with you from Warner Park, Jackson Kleinschmidt, Jake Bachhoven, and the rest of the team in the 93.7 The Ticket studios. It's the 1-0 pitch, flied high, shallow left field. The wind will take it farther and farther to left field than maybe they accounted for, but able to range over and make the catch was the Papillion La-Vista left fielder Dylan Wernley for out number 1 here in the bottom of the fourth. So it's an F7 on the card, and Jake Daniel steps into the plate. Daniel, he grounded out to the shortstop, Isaac Pomeron, to end the first inning as he whiffs on the breaking ball, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. The 0-1 pitch, low and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, the 1-1 pitch, grounded softly. It should be routine for Pomeron. He's going to get another chance at it, and it's an arid throw, and safe at first base on the E6 is Jake Daniel. Daniel was able to make it all the way down the 90-foot baseline as Pomeron had to set his feet. It looked fairly routine. Pomeron has enough arm strength to get it across the diamond, but he took the first baseman, Edie, down the line towards home plate, and he was unable to apply the tag, and so it's an E6. So runner on first with one out. Now the first pitch of the at-bat to Tyson Meyer is in there for a strike on the outer part of the zone, 0-1. No balls, one strike, one out. Bottom of the fourth inning, the runner on first is Jake Daniel. The righty-righty matchup here to Tyson Meyer. He'll pick over. Back in plenty of time was Jake Daniel over there at first base. No balls, one strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and it'll be 0-2. No balls, two strikes, one out. And we have a stoppage in play as Millard West will call out a sign, and then everybody looks down at their wristbands. No balls, two strikes, one out. Here in the bottom of the fourth. Righty-righty matchup with Daniel at first. Here's the pitch. Outside, no strike there, but a back pick attempt at first base is back in time was Jake Daniel, and so it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes coming up. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, still scoreless between Papillion La-Vista and Millard West. Quick pick over first base. They're concerned with Jake Daniel over there at that first base bag. But here, Tyson Meyer stepping into that right-handed batter's box, facing a 1-2 count. The runner goes and Daniel, they swing, and it is a strike 3. It was a foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, Thompson, for Papillion La-Vista, so he wanted to make sure, and smart doing there by Thompson behind the dish, making sure that they got the strikeout, and he did not drop the ball. Did not worry about trying to throw down to second base to get Daniel on the strike him out, throw him out attempt. But now it's Cade Scommel with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning, runner on second base. The first pitch, the at-bat, outside, ball 1, 1-0. Millard West trying to crack the scoring column for the first time for either side here in the bottom half of the fourth. Landon Albrecht is on the mound. He comes set, checks the runner twice. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, bent the knee of Cade Scommel, and it's in there for a strike, 1-1. The shortstop, Pomeron, is the one that's working the base runner at second. Working in and out, in and out. A lot of those pickoff plays are going to be timing. You'll see maybe sometimes the angle of the shortstop. If he starts backpedaling towards center field, he'll come on quickly. If he goes back towards his shortstop position, they're not going to attempt a pickoff play. Here's this one, grounded left side. Pomeron's going to get another chance. He boots it off his glove. Rounding third and scoring easily is going to be Daniel, and Millard West is able to crack the scoreboard first. They lead it 1-0 on an RBI and a ground ball that bounced off the glove of the shortstop Pomeron into left field here at Warner Park. Millard West takes a 1-0 lead on their third hit of the day here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Cade Scommel comes in, is able to put bat on ball, and on a day like today, that's really all you can ask for. That does go as an error against the shortstop Pomeron. So he scores on the air. And Cade Scommel able to put bat on ball, as I mentioned. I didn't know they marked the first one back with Jake Daniel, the way he reached. They marked that as a single. That looked to be more of a routine play than this one. However, the scorekeeper here at Warner Park says that it's an error, and so that's what we'll mark it as. So he does not get credited for the RBI. Runner on first base now, 2 outs, 1-0 Millard West here in the bottom of the fourth. The first pitch of the at-bat to Hunter Young, who you might remember back in the second inning, he tried to bunt the ball and it hit him outside of the batter's box, so he was called out. He steps into the plate and takes strike 1, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at first base. Here's the pitch. Outside zone, strike 2. They also substituted Jack Meeks in to run for Cade Skomel over at first base. However, no balls, 2 strikes here. Landon Albrecht, Papio, they have a chance to get out of this limiting damage. The runner goes, swung on and missed, and that'll do it for the bottom half of the 4th. As your score, after 4 innings of play, Millard West finally cracks it. They are up 1-0 over the Monarchs as Colton Williams trots back out to the mound for his 5th inning of work against this Papio lineup that's still searching for their first hit. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Discovering your life's passion is easier with options, and that's what Doane offers students. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes you different. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We head to the top of the 5th inning here at Warner Park. Nick Sainert with you here as Austin Norman will join me later on this Monday for some state baseball games once he makes the trek up to Papillion La-Vista. And Papio trailing 1-0, and they have yet to accumulate a hit on the day. They've had base runners via some walks and free passes, but Millard West done a good job defensively, keeping routine plays routine. And if you are Papillion La-Vista, you're not playing against a clock, but for the most part, playing against innings. You have 3 chances left, 5th, 6th, and 7th innings to really get something going against a really strong and exciting pitcher on the mound in Colton Williams. Williams, the sophomore, has held his own here on the biggest stage. One to 0 is your score. Millard West out in front by a run over the Monarchs. No errors on the day for Millard West, just 1 for Papillion La-Vista. The first pitch of the 5th innings fouled back behind us by Colton Peters, the designated hitter, for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Colton Peters hit a ball on the screws as he fouls this one to the net again, 0-2. He hit the ball on the screws back in the 2nd inning where Papio had a guy on second base. However, it went right to the left fielder, Hunter Young, for Millard West. Here's the 0-2 offering from Colton Williams. Breaking ball stays up out of the zone, 1-2. The wind blowing more directly towards left field here now. As the 1-2 pitch swung on, hit well out to right center. The wind, as I mentioned, is going to push it back to more straight away center. And it's caught for an out. Out number 1 on the F8. So that wind, as I mentioned, blowing directly out to left field now. And the outfield shifted accordingly. The right fielder playing relatively shallow, while the center fielder and right and left fielder are pretty deep for high school conversations. Now, here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Jackson Povich. He swings and misses at that one. It's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike here for Papillion La-Vista hitter. 8 in the lineup, 5 on the back of the jersey, and it's Jackson Povich. He swings and misses 0-2 quickly to Jackson Povich. Jackson Povich struck out swinging to Colton Williams back in the 3rd inning, trying not to go 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts here in this AB. The lefty pitcher, Colton Williams, against the righty hitter, Jackson Povich. As it's on its way, and it's in the dirt, ball one. Millard West sent a couple of bodies out to the bullpen in center field. That's where both of the bullpens are here at Warner Park. It's kind of a two-tiered, two-story bullpen. Here's the 1-2 pitch, hammered left side, but foul into the netting down the left field line. We'll do it again at 1-2. It's that two-story bullpen. The visitors, in this case, Papillion La-Vista, would occupy the second level, while Millard West would take care of the first level bullpen. The 1-2 offering from Williams. Breaking ball stayed outside, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. That one clips the corner, and that is strike three. So Povich goes down looking for out number 2 here in the top of the fifth. 2 up, 2 down for Colton Williams and Millard West's defense here in the top of the fifth inning. That brings up Dylan Wernley, the 9-hole hitter in the lineup, the starting left fielder. Wernley, he struck out swinging to end, or rather, for that second out in the third inning. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Breaking ball worked itself back to the inside corner, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. The breaking ball clips him on the shoulder, and that is a hit by pitch. Third free pass of the day for Colton Williams. So a hit by pitch, and that comes against the 9-hole hitter for Papillion La-Vista, which if you are Colton Williams, probably not thrilled about putting on the 9-hole guy as on a free ball, but Isaac Pomeron now steps in as he watches a fastball, outer part of the zone, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here, top of the fifth. Colton Williams comes set at the belt. Runner at first is Wernley. He'll fire home. It's a breaking ball that does clip it, and it's no balls, 2 strikes quickly to the number 1 hole hitter, Isaac Pomeron. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the fifth. Papio at the plate, still searching for their first hit. This one outside, the runner does go. The throw down to second, not in time, and it will be safe at second base on the stolen base by Wernley, and he is now in scoring position, potentially just a base hit away from Papillion La-Vista tying this ball game. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Pomeron. Up and away, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top half of the fifth inning. Millard West scored a run in the bottom of the fourth. It was their first run of the day. They lead it 1-0. Papio, can they get their first hit of the day? Swung on, fouled off left side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pomeron, the left-handed hitter for Papillion La-Vista, has a runner at second. Swung on and missed. Got him fishing on the breaking ball. Well in the dirt. They have to complete the play to first base, but they're able to easily, Millard West is, and we go to the bottom of the fifth, yet without a hit. Papillion La-Vista, Millard West comes up to bat, leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the fifth inning. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today. Meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Warner Park. Nick Sainert with you here in a 1-0 game right now. Bottom of the fifth inning. Millard West leads it 1-0. Up first is for Millard West, the 8-hole hitter in the lineup, Jake Blackman. Blackman on the day, struck out looking. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it is outside ball one. Excuse me. So 1 ball, 1 strike here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Here's the pitch from Albrecht. Swung on, chopper, right side, fielded cleanly with 2 hands by the first baseman, Edie, and it is in time. He jogs over to the bag for the 3 unassisted on the putout. Out number 1 here in the home half of the fifth. Reminder, there won't be as long of breaks in between games today, as we will have a rolling schedule, just about 30 minutes or so in between ball games. Big reason for that, the storms that are expected later on today. And so we'll see how quick and how much baseball we can get in here before those storms approach. 2 balls, no strikes now to Jared Betts. Here's the first pitch, or rather, the 2-0 pitch. It's now a strike, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. It's bunted left side. It's a really nice bunt fielded by the catcher. Off balance into right field. The throw goes. Moving to second is Jared Betts. They'll throw it that way. It's not in time. And a bunt that could have been an out turns into the second error of the day for Papio and an extra base for Jared Betts. And the reason that is so crucial, folks, is because now that will bring up the top of the order. So we're going to call that a single for Jared Betts. But then, because it was a really well-placed bunt, but then an error on the catcher, Thompson will allow him to get to second base. Here's the top of the order, Sam Kidd. Kidd singled back in the third. He grounded out in the first, and now he fouls off the first pitch of his at-bat to the right side, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the home half of the fifth inning. The runner at second, Jared Betts. And Albrecht will step off the mound and chase him back to that second base bag. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Albrecht. Rather, they're going to pick back to second base. Back in plenty of time, though, was Jared Betts over there. Righty-righty matchup. Albrecht on the mound. Sam Kidd, the Millard West catcher, at the plate. He watches ball 1 low out of the zone, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's 1-0. Millard West out in front of Papillion La-Vista. The Monarchs still without a hit offensively. They've committed 2 errors in the field, just 1 a moment ago. Albrecht, concerned with the runner at second, fires home and hits Sam Kidd in the back. That is what a runner and somebody that you worry about on the base paths can do. It takes your focus away from the guy at the plate. Landon Albrecht was concerned with that runner at second base, Jared Young, and because of that, or at least part of that, was because Sam Kidd was at the box as well, and he hits him. So Landon Horst will be the courtesy runner for Sam Kidd over there at first base. So Horst at first, Betts at second, And stepping into the box after the mound visit, it'll be Dylan Swiersick. However, we have a conference on the mound. Landon Albrecht. We'll see what's the outlook for Landon Albrecht. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Warner Park here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Landon Albrecht's going to get a chance to stay out there here as he will have runners on first and second base with one out, and Dylan Swiersick steps in. Now they'll step over and chase Jared Betts back to the second base bag. So here you have it, where Dylan Swiersick, who singled back in the first and flew out to the right fielder in the third, steps in with two runners on base. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike one. Nice job there by Landon Albrecht. Able to get back in there and fire in a strike. No balls, one strike, one out here in the home half of the fifth. Albrecht checks the runner at second twice, fires home, swung on and missed as he blew a heater by him. No balls, two strikes. We're approaching 11:15 out here at Warner Park. No balls, two strikes, one out in the home half of the fifth inning. Albrecht from the stretch, he fires. This one flied out right side, but foul down that first base line, and it will be out of play. So we'll do it again at 0-2. No balls, two strikes, one out. This could be a big out for Landon Albrecht if he can get Swiersick down without having any damage. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hammered left side, right to the third baseman's glove. Nice play by Povich over there at the hot corner, and he is able to haul it in for out number two. A frustrating at-bat if you're Dylan Swiersick. You feel like you hit that one as well as you could have, but it just went right to the third baseman, Povich, over there past that third base bag for out number two. Now that brings up the three-hole hitter, Chance Roberts. Roberts on the day, 0 for 2. He struck out and flew out. Roberts steps into that left-handed batter's box, swings, hammers this one foul behind us. Up here in the press box, it's 0-1. No balls, one strike, two outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Runners are on first and second. Horst at first, Betts at second for Millard West as they try to add on to their one-run lead. Swung on, fouled off left side again. Closer to fair territory, but still well foul as it went up by the Carnival Games standing up here on the concourse down the left field line. No balls, two strikes now to Chance Roberts. Here's the pitch on 0-2. Up out of zone, try to elevate a fastball. 1-2. One ball, two strikes, two outs. Bottom of the fifth. Landon Albrecht trying to get out of a jam. Here's the pitch on 1-2. Elevated fastball stays high, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Landon Albrecht checks the runner at second two times. And he now fires home on the 2-2. Outside, ball three. So we are full. The runners will be off with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The scoreboard here reads 3-1. So it'll be interesting to see if the runners are aware. They are. The runners are off with the pitch. It's a foul ball. And we will do it again at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. It's 1-0 Millard West. The runners are off, and it's ball 4 to the 3-hole hitter, Chance Roberts, and that will load them up for the cleanup hitter in this Millard West lineup, Jake Daniel. Daniel on the year, 254 hitter. He's driven in 11 runs on the campaign. Can he deliver with 3 guys on base? The bases are loaded. And most importantly, for Papillion La-Vista, if you're Nate McCabe, the head coach, are you keeping Landon Albrecht in there? It appears he is. Albrecht will throw from the windup here with bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch swung on, grounded softly, third base side. Povich picks it up cleanly, throws it across the diamond to first base in time, and out number 3 is recorded. Millard West leaves them loaded. It's 1-0 as we enter the 6th inning of play. Papillion La-Vista offense still without a hit in this ball game. They have 6 outs left in their season here in this elimination game at Warner Park here on 93.7 The Ticket.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Warner Park as we get ready for the top of the 6th inning. And if you're Papillion La-Vista, your outs and chances are dwindling as you have 6 outs left to not only get in the scoring column, but get in the hit column. Still without a single hit. They've had base runners. There have been 4 free passes warranted by Colton Williams, the Millard West pitcher, the sophomore. However, he has been nails at getting out of jams or limiting damage. Defense has been pretty good so far for the most part, too, by Millard West. No errors in this one. Due up here in the top of the 6th inning. Feels like a good chance for Papio to get something going. It's hitters 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Ryan Thompson, Easton Schneider, and Luke Bennett. So Ryan Thompson, the catcher, will step in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded out to the pitcher and flew out to the right fielder. He swings, hits this one just foul down that third baseline. Would have been a big leadoff double if that one would have stayed within the chalk. 0-1 though, long strike. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Papio down by 1-0. Here's the pitch from Colton Williams. Outside, ball 1. And that's the thing. If you are Landon Albrecht for Papillion La-Vista, you're sitting here and going, you feel like you limited the damage on your end. The 1 run is unearned as Thompson swings and misses at that one, 1-2. But you feel, the 1 run that is on the scoreboard has been unearned. It was not only put on base by an error, but also it was brought in because of an error. You feel like you've done your part on the mound. You just need your offense to help you out as Thompson watches ball 2 upstairs, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, top of the 6th. This one swung on, fouled back as it hit one of the glass windows here at Warner Park. Did not break. It hit the suites up the right side. As you can hear in the mic, the wind is starting to pick up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, flied high. This one should stay in play if they can converge in the Bermuda Triangle. They cannot, as that triangle between in foul territory behind first baseman's bag, and the first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder all converge in foul territory. It stayed in play here at Warner. Unable to make the catch, though, so we'll do it again at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Colton Williams on the mound. He came into this one with a 5-1 record, a 1.73 earned run average. Here's the pitch from Williams. As it's a breaking ball, hits the outside corner, and the home plate umpire rings up the Papillion La-Vista catcher. And Ryan Thompson on his way back to the dugout, shaking his head in disbelief that he got rung up on that pitch. But that's out number 1 on a backwards K. And Colton Williams will now face Easton Schneider, the 3-hole hitter in the Papillion lineup, the second baseman who walked his last time up. His first pitch is low and away, ball 1. The 1-0 offering to Schneider, swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. 7 strikeouts now on the day for Colton Williams. The 1-1 offering to Schneider on the way. It's going to just miss outside, and it's 2-1. 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, no runs allowed, no hits allowed. Here's this one as it's driven down right side and foul, 2-2. He's just done a really nice job, Colton Williams has, of keeping the opponents with Papillion La-Vista off balance. Done a really good job of mixing up his pitches, commanding in the zone, and they've just been struggling to get on time here. As that fastball up and away for a ball, 3-2 to Easton Schneider. He worked a walk back in the 4th. He flew out to the first baseman to end the first inning. But here has a 3-2 count. The pitch from Williams. Swung on, fouled back to the nets. We'll do it again, 3-2. It goes, bounces back to home plate. Three balls, 2 strikes. One out, top of the 6th. And hits the outside corner, strike 3. That is strikeout number 8 of the day for Colton Williams. This time, it's another backwards K, his second consecutive backwards K, as he got Thompson down watching and now Schneider down looking. And that will bring up with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Luke Bennett, the cleanup hitter, the starting right fielder, he'll step in. Bennett 0 for 1 on the day. He sacrificed back in the 4th that ended up getting Schneider to second base, but then Schneider got caught in that rundown. He watches ball 1, 1-0, and here Williams back to work with the 1-0 pitch to Bennett. He throws that one outside, 2-0. Once again, Colton Williams, a 2-sport athlete. He plays football in addition to baseball. A guy with Steve Fry, he said, bright future. Here's the pitch on 2-0. It's going to be inside, 3-0. And to what we've seen for the most part, yeah, that bright future is certainly possible. 5 2/3, no hits allowed. And here's the 3-0 pitch as that's out on the outside part of the plate, 3-1. 8 strikeouts, though, for Colton Williams, the sophomore. Williams steps up to the rubber here at Warner. The 3-1 pitch to Luke Bennett is just inside for a ball 4. And so that is another free pass for the Papillion La-Vista Monarchs. They've had guys on. That's what's been most frustrating if you're head coach Nate McCabe over there at third base. You had a guy on base in the 2nd inning, a guy on base on the 3rd inning, a guy on base in the 4th inning, a guy on base in the 5th. You've had somebody on base every single inning except for the 1st. Just haven't been able to execute and get bat on ball. So Bennett draws the walk, and now Evan Eady will have to come up to the plate. But before Williams faces Eady, we'll have a conversation on the mound. We're going to step aside. We'll come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms this afternoon. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy with a high near 77. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms with a low around 50. tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy and breezy. The high near 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flechter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, so the mound visit is over, and the first pitch of the at-bat to Evan Eady is on the inner part of the plate for a strike, 0-1. Luke Bennett is over there at first base. No balls, one strike here to Evan Eady. Breaking ball, nubbed down the left side and foul, and it will be 0-2 quickly here. Colton Williams, still no hits allowed in the top of the sixth inning. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here to the 5-hole hitter, Evan Eady. Runner on first is Luke Bennett after he just drew a walk. The pitch, breaking ball, hammered through the right side into right field for a hit. And finally, in the top of the sixth inning with 2 outs, Papillion La-Vista breaks into the hit column with their first base knock of the day. And now runners are on first and second with 2 outs here in the top of the sixth inning. And things are a little more interesting now in a 1-run ball game because there's a tying run not 90 feet away, but 180 feet away at second base, and the potential leading run over there at first base. Stepping into the box, it's Landon Albrecht, the pitcher. Can he help himself out? The first pitch of the at-bat, swung on and missed, 0-1. And so there you have it. Finally, in the top of the sixth inning, Papillion La-Vista able to crack the hit column. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. The middle infielders of Millard West working the base runner at second, Luke Bennett. Here's the pitch to Albrecht. Up and away, ball 1. Landon Albrecht, the pitcher. Wouldn't be surprised to see him trot out there for his 6th inning of work after this. But here he could potentially help himself out, delivering a big RBI single. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, fouled off right side, and we will do it at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colton Peters, the designated hitter, stands in the on-deck circle. For Papillion La-Vista, though, up at the plate, Landon Albrecht on the year, a .289 hitter. He's driven in 11 runs on the year. Here comes Colton Williams in his 6th inning of work. The lefty fires, and it's low out of the zone, ball 2. We're all even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The wind starting to pick up here a little bit, as you can hear behind me at Warner Park. Still blowing pretty significantly out to left field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch, low and inside, ball 3. Colton Williams, the one thing that Steve Fry did say is Colton Williams has a tendency at times to get out of command with his pitches. And we're starting to see that here towards the later innings as fatigue starts to set in. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Can he make one more pitch? Colton Williams, the lefty, comes set at the belt. Runners will be off with the pitch here on the payoff. It's swung on and missed. Colton Williams works his 6th clean inning. And finally, Papillion La-Vista able to crack the hit column, but it goes nowhere. Colton Williams with 6 scoreless innings. He's got 8 strikeouts on the day. And we head to the bottom of the 6th with Millard West leading 1-0 here at Warner on 93.7 The Ticket.
When daily energy fades and your drive just isn't what it used to be, Game Day Men's Health helps you step back into top form. Game Day Men's Health is one of the country's fastest growing clinics, and they focus on men's wellness, providing customized solutions with professionalism and privacy in mind. Testosterone optimization, weight management, vitamin injections, and shockwave therapy are just a few of the many things they offer. Restore your energy and rediscover confidence with the help of Game Day Men's Health, because every man deserves to feel his best every day. Visit them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com today or in person at one of their 2 locations in Omaha.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We head to the bottom of the 6th inning here, due up in the home half of the 6th for the Millard West Wildcats, it's going to be numbers 5, 6, and 7, Tyson Meyer, Kate Skomel, and Hunter Young. Once again, Papillion La-Vista finally able to get some guys in scoring position, get some bat on ball, but a nice pitch there by Colton Williams on the 3-2 count with 2 outs, strikes out Landon Albrecht. Now Albrecht will jot back out there for his 6th inning of work on the mound. Albrecht on the day, he has not had an earned run. That one run that Millard West scored reached on an error and then was able to score on an error as well. And so just some frustration there for Papillion La-Vista. It could be a 0-0 ball game, but there were a couple of errors in the sequence by the shortstop Pomeron that certainly hurt Papillion La-Vista defensively. They have 2 errors on the day. The first pitch of the bottom of the 6th is fouled off to the right side, 0-1. Tyson Meyer steps in. He is 0 for 2 on the day, flew out to the first baseman and struck out swinging back in the 4th. Albrecht quickly going back to work. The 0-1 swung on and missed, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We've been playing for about an hour and 27 minutes. Here's the pitch from Albrecht on the way. Flown out right side. It's going to get out of play. It might hit the dugout. It does. Bounces off the dugout into the fans. And it will be no balls, 2 strikes yet again to the shortstop Tyson Meyer. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch from Albrecht. Hit it well out to left field. The wind's going to help that one a little bit, but the center fielder able to range over and make the catch for out number 1. That was hit on the screws. A good piece of hitting by Tyson Meyer, the shortstop for Millard West, but it is a loud out number 1. All right, we go to the designated hitter now, Kate Skomel. Skomel is 0 for 1. He was the one that actually reached on the air. Rather, we're going to now have a re-entering. So Skomel was pinch ran for back in the 4th inning, but then now he's re-entering. He flew out in the 2nd inning to the right fielder. Here's the first pitch of his at-bat. Fouled off. He was well out in front of that one. Fouled that one off the end of his bat. Back to the screen here, and it's going to be 0-1. Here's the pitch. No balls, 1 strike, hit well. Povich fields it off the 1-hop, collects himself, fires across the diamond in time, and another well-hit ball, but a nice defensive play there by Jackson Povich at third base for Papio. And now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, Hunter Young comes up to the plate. Young, no, we're going to have a pinch hitter now, number 26, that is Jackson Teal. Teal, the junior, hitting .280 on the season. He is one of the 2 Wildcats that has a home run on the year. And so once again, Jackson Teal. First pitch of the at-bat to Teal, fouled off right side, and it'll be no balls, 1 strike. Hunter Young, who initially held the 7th spot, struck out swinging last time. Here's Jackson Teal, though, his first at-bat of the day. He watches ball 1 go by, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Albrecht fires, swings and misses was Jackson Teal. And now Albrecht is 1 out away, or 1 pitch away from working a clean 6 innings. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Low again, 3-2. Up on the on-deck circle, it's Jake Blackman. He's 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out looking and grounded out to the first baseman. But here's the payoff pitch from Albrecht. Swung on. It's a 1-hopper to the second baseman, fielded cleanly by Schneider, and overs the first on a routine ground ball out for out number 3. Now we go to the top of the 7th inning. It's our last inning of regulation. Papillion La-Vista will send hitters 7, 8, and 9 to the plate as they trail 1-0 1-0 here in this game to the Millard West Wildcats. We'll step aside. There's going to be a new pitcher on the bump. Colton Williams' day is done. We'll tell you about the new arm for Millard West when we come back in 60 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand-battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
Support Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach on Give to Lincoln Day. Your gift will be received by a portion of Lincoln Community Foundation's matching fund. Homelessness is a complex problem facing our community. By working together, we can find solutions. Your donation for Give to Lincoln Day moves us closer to ensuring that everyone in Lincoln has a safe place to sleep at night. Because of your generosity, hope lives here. Give anytime through May 29th at givetolincoln.com.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We go to the top of the 7th inning here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, here at Warner Park. As for Papillion La-Vista, they will send hitters 7, 8, and 9 up to the plate. Millard West is turning to Noah Snyder. Snyder does not have a record, does not have a save on the year either. His ERA is not going to jump off the – or rather, excuse me, number 18, Peyton Roberts. Roberts on the year, that will jump off the page. 5 saves for Peyton Roberts. 18, not number 8. With the wind snapping the jerseys, you sometimes skip out on some of the numbers. But once again, Peyton Roberts now doing the pitching in a 1-run ball game. So due up first, it's Colton Peters, the designated hitter. And it's a righty-righty matchup here to Colton Peters. The first pitch of the at-bat in the top of the 7th is up and away for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Just one hit on the day for Papio. Here's the pitch. Low and away, ball 2. This is an elimination game. The loser of this one goes home. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch from Roberts to Peters. And it's ball 3, 3-0. And the one thing you do not want is to walk the leadoff guy in the inning, especially when they haven't been able to register a hit all day. The 3-0 offering to Colton Peters is ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to start. And now that'll bring up Jackson Povich. We'll see. What does Nate McCabe decide to do? Does he decide to have Jackson Povich surrender his at-bat? I think they're going to more than likely run for Colton Peters over there at first base. Peters, not the smallest guy, not the quickest either, and so they are going to bring somebody that's a very different size from him. It's going to be number 22. Number 22 for Papio, Brett Holschler. How about this? The guy who started on the mound on Friday against Lincoln East, he's now going to run. Correction, Franklin Parsons is going to run. Number 21. Franklin Parsons is now at first base. But Jackson Povich is here as he'll square to bunt. The bunt does not get down in fair territory, and so we'll do it 0-1. Apologies for the miscommunication on the jersey number there. But once again, Franklin Parsons, who has 13 runs scored on the year, he's now at first base. The 0-1 pitch to Jackson Povich. Here's the pitch. Squares to bunt, takes strike 2 on the outside corner, and it's now 0-2. I'd be curious to see if Parsons is in motion here with 0-2. It'd be risky as they pick over to first. Back in time is Parsons. It would be quite risky to send Franklin Parsons here. However, you need a spark if you're Papio. The 0-2 pitch from Roberts to Povich. Up and away, ball one. One ball, two strikes, nobody out, top of the seventh in a one-run ball game. Parsons leads off first. The 1-2, swung on and missed on an elevated breaking ball that floated across the zone, and Jackson Povich now has 3 strikeouts on the day at the plate. He strikes out for the 3rd time today, the 2nd time swinging, and that is out number 1 here in the top of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Dylan Wernley. Wernley, he is 0 for 1, struck out, and then was hit by a pitch. As Parsons still at first base, here's Wernley. The pitch, low and in, ball 1. Isaac Pomeron, the leadoff hitter for Papillion La-Vista, is in the on-deck circle. It's 1-0 Millard West here in the top of the 7th inning. 1-0, 1 out. 1-0 is the count. And he watches a fastball across the middle of the plate for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Parsons leads off first. The pitch, swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Millard West has done a real good job of limiting damage whenever Papillion La-Vista has a guy on base. They've just slammed the door shut. And here Peyton Roberts trying to get his 6th save of the year. 1-0 is your score. Here's the pitch from Roberts. Swung on, fouled back to the nets, and he'll stay alive. Dylan Wernley, that is, the Papillion La-Vista left fielder, and we'll do it again at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 7th inning between Papillion La-Vista and Millard West. Millard West leads by 1. There is a Papillion La-Vista runner, though, at first base. That's Franklin Parsons. Rob comes set out of the stretch. Here's the pitch from Roberts. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts as Peyton Roberts gets him swinging on a fastball just on the outside part of the plate. He swung, was well late on that one, and now the Monarchs season comes down to the bat of the leadoff hitter, Isaac Pomeron. Pomeron on the day is 0 for 2. He struck out twice. He walked back in the 3rd. There is a runner at first as Pomeron takes ball 1 up out of the zone, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch from Roberts. Upstairs, 2-0. We saw Colton Williams go 6 scoreless innings, allowed just 1 hit. Gave up a decent amount of free passes, but no runs, most importantly. And now we've seen Peyton Roberts come in, and he's attempted to slam the door after a leadoff 4-pitch walk. However, Roberts throws with quite a bit more velocity than what we saw from Colton Williams. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Pomeron. Down Broadway, 2-1. Millard West, the Class A defending state champions. They defeated Lincoln East in the title game last year. The 2-1 pitch to Pomeron from Peyton Roberts is just outside, 3-1. Standing in the on-deck circle, a man who's 0 for 3 on the day, Ryan Thompson. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Millard West 1 out away. This one swung on, hit well out to center field. The center fielder racing back. Looks to be under it. He is, and there's the ball game. Jake Blackman able to haul it in for out number 3. Papillion La-Vista, they are eliminated as Millard West survives and advances after they narrowly lost to Millard South on Friday. They narrowly win against Papillion La-Vista today. by a narrow margin of 1-0. We'll come back in 60 seconds to tell you about it and put a bow on this one and get you ready for our next game here on 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms this afternoon. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy with a high near 77. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms with a low around 50. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy with a high near 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Back to the 2025 State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in to Warner Park as we have concluded the first game of the day. Remember, we'll have a little bit of an abbreviated schedule, just trying to beat some severe weather that's coming later on this afternoon. So let's quickly put a bow on this one before we send it back to the 93.7 The Ticket studios. Millard West wins it 1-0 over the Papillion La-Vista Monarchs in an elimination matchup. But, man, it was a pitcher's duel if you could have ever thought of one. Let's first start for Papillion La-Vista in this case, Landon Albrecht. He came into the game with a 6-0 record, a 1.57 earned run average. His day, he went 6 complete innings, struck out 5, walked just 1, allowed 3 hits, and then that 1 run that Millard West scored was unearned. And so 0 earned runs to Landon Albrecht's name. A really nice day for the Monarchs starter. For Millard West, though, you can't say enough about Colton Williams either. He came in and now improves to a 6-1 record on the year. He throws 6 complete innings, has 8 strikeouts. He did walk 5, but allowed just 1 hit. And most importantly, in a 1-run ball game, no earned runs. Peyton Roberts gets the save, his 6th of the year. He throws 1 complete inning, has 2 strikeouts, did walk the leadoff hitter, but once again, no earned runs. It was a fast-moving, quick-moving first baseball game. An hour and 44 minutes of game time was all it took for a 1-0 ball game that saw Millard West come away victorious against the Papillion La-Vista Monarchs. Our next game will be another elimination game between Papio South and the Kearney Bearcats. That one starting, I would say in about 26 minutes or so here at Warner Park. We're going to quickly send things back to our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Austin and myself will get you ready out here at Warner Park for the next game in about 20 minutes or so. But for now, so long from Warner Park here. It's Millard West 1, Papio 0 in an elimination game in the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars.